I know going hand in hand with that would be the economics of things, because a lot of times we find that those natural resources that we want to use may actually be a bit costly. But we have to look at, because in terms of economics as well as the economics or the cost as relates to you being a human being. What does it cost our lives? So we want to find ways. Yes, we want to have a budget and we want to make sure that we do not overspend, and we do not want to be out of pocket, because I know a lot of people and young people are thinking to yourselves right now, hey, I want to be rich. I want to have money, right? But again, the same way we're thinking about preserving the future for you, you need to also think about preserving the future for those to come, right? And it should not be at the expense of money. And yes, again, I'm saying I understand the integral aspect it plays in our development and everyone wanting to have a certain financial stability, but think sustainable. So as you innovate, as you decide on what you are presenting to the future, we want it to be sustainable both environmentally and in that aspect as well, the economics of it. Mr. Tyler,
Yeah,
you're
thank
jumping
you.
in here.
You made so much of interesting points here, because as you speak, I recall just a few years ago, just before the pandemic, and we continued during the pandemic, you know. I know it was social distancing and that type of thing, but we still, you know, tried to put food on the table, you know. And we had youths, young persons, say between 16 to like 25 or so, and they were planting stuff. And if you come to the academy, you will see on the wall, I have some pictures of where we had engagement. Because you mentioned economics. Because we use the fork and the rake and the spade, but you go to tell the young people to, they will talk about technology. And technology is at a cost. How do you have this? How do you harness? And to get hold of the youth to say, well, okay, where would we find this money, or how could we do this? We can speak about it, but what you will advise, like at school, I would say probably from secondary school level, how you teach them to plant and grow and sustain, so that we can have this economic, development. And we're talking youth. What do you tell them? How do you get them engaged?
I mean, yes, we know that a lot of times the digital stuff appeals to young people, but again, we also need for our young people to see the value in having your own and creating your own. And so that whole planting initiative that you would have gotten young people involved with, I know a lot of young people who are very eager in agriculture. And even in doing so, again, it helps with the economics of things, because when you grow your own, then you have sufficient for you. So encouraging people to have little gardens and that kind of thing is definitely something that is worth doing. Just today, I was engaged in something where we looked at harnessing energy, clean energy in terms of solar energy, and how we could utilize that in farming. Just coincidentally, it was in farming, right? So you never look and realize how much energy is extended to even create food when you look at large industrial or farming arrangements. But a lot of energy is used. One of the farmers, I remember saying that, and this is something again people could probably start looking into and innovating stuff. Because we are in a tropical country, temperature, while some people try to warm things up, we have to try to cool things down. So even the water and stuff that is used to irrigate needs to be cooled a bit. And that uses a certain amount of energy to ensure that it is at the correct temperature. Yeah.
Oh, Miss, you answered my question. This is exactly, what I'm looking at. What can pull you? What's there? Because they talk about social media and technology.
Yeah.
So solar energy, they will be interested in that. Solar energy is something that can show them. And because they will like to get away from just the spade and the shovel and the fork and the rake and the
but
yes,
it's up
that
to
too
them
is
to
useful,
be
but
innovative.
yeah, innovation is what we're looking at.
So all young people are our future. They are the ones who are going to be the creators of what we want to see in the world in the future. And that's why I'm encouraging them. I have no idea. I can't picture what it would be like in the next few years, but we could see that technology is rapidly changing. And with these young people who have digital thumbs, I think that what is to come, we could only be marveled by it. And I just encourage them for them to look at it in a sustainable way.
Thank you very much. This ends our program for today, and we are looking forward to episode 4.
And World Youth Day on
and World Youth Day. What's the time? Thank you very much.